Man United 3, Burnley 1. How do you just dissect that? I think it's easy to say it was all rubbish. I'm probably a bit naive to say it was all good. It was probably somewhere in the middle. It was a very mixed performance. I would say that there was elements of positivity in moments, but overall it wasn't really what we want to see in terms of overall performance. Kind of like a still getting there situation. I got to start with the positives because obviously we won. It's 3-1. Scott McTominay, I thought, was the guy today. He played really well. He's due a good game. He's been taking a lot of criticism recently. I think it's important that when he puts in a performance like that, you got to big him up. He was good today. First goal, Ronaldo definitely wanted it for himself, but Scott had other ideas. And the second goal that we scored was actually, the third goal, which come from a McTominay shot as well, was unbelievable. That would have been a fantastic goal as well, but more so to the point of McTominay's performance, it's what happens when he has the license to go play, really, when he plays higher up the pitch. Anytime we see McTominay doing well, it's usually making third man runs, arriving late in the box, or strikes from outside the box, and that was good from him today. There were still elements in the midfield that were a little bit slow, a little bit sloppy. It wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination. The intensity still wasn't there. I'm kind of going to the negative straight away there, but that's just how I feel about it. I still feel like there's a lot of work to do. I know you guys will feel that as well. I thought Luke Shaw coming back in was bright. I think in the first half he was good. He was up and down. He was bombing on. The ball he plays to Ronaldo in the first few minutes, Ronaldo's got to score. And if he scores that early, I know we went on to go 1-0 anyway. But if Luke Shaw ends up with an assist after a few minutes, it does change the complexion of the game. And he does well, and he continued that in the first half. Not so much in the second half, which I'll get to. Who else was good in the first half? I thought Mason was bright. I thought Mason was more busy than he has. I thought he was appalling against Newcastle. He could have lost his place as well. Obviously get hooked at half time. Rashford rightly so didn't start this game, but between those two, the movement against Newcastle was absolutely awful. I saw a little bit more from him today in terms of how he moved and how he wanted the ball and how he wanted to play and how positive he was. So I agree with that. I like that. And Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sancho's my guy. I'm riding out for him. I want him to do really well. I see that they gave an own goal, ended up giving him an own goal. I thought the ball went in a bit slow. The way that it trickled in, I thought something's not quite right there. But nevertheless, I was happy for him. But it's like, there's just more in there. I just want him to be more direct. There's a lot of times where the injection of pace that I want to see from him, I want to see him take fullbacks on more, because I know he can. I know he's got the beat in the fullbacks, and a lot of the time we're quite slow in our build-up play. And that's not just Jadon. That's the whole rest of the squad. That's just the way we're playing at the moment in terms of a tempo. But I want to see more from him. There were little glimpses, but he couldn't sustain that for long enough, to be honest with you, with how he played today. But there's glimpses. I think today, the thing that gets me today, and this is moving into more of just looking at it overall, even the way we won that game, it wasn't like there's a new manager, a new style of play. It was pretty much the same. Okay, Ralph's clearly going to stick with this formation. He's not going to abandon it. I think because we were so poor in the first half against Newcastle, it was the right thing to abandon that and go to the formation that he did do. But there's still a lot of the same old things. I mean, even the goal we conceded, Eric Bailly was fairly good today. Makes a mistake, miscontrols the ball. But Aaron Lennon, who I forgot was even still playing football, just in general, runs through, and Maguire just backs off and doesn't engage him, and he scores in the far corner just before half time. That was a bit of a downer. A lot of people having a lot of criticism for Harry Maguire in general, and obviously tonight. It's just the anticipation. There's so many instances that happen with the ball, and Maguire can see what's going to happen before it happens, doesn't take the right stance on it, and then it becomes a problem. He doesn't firefight early enough. The anticipation isn't there. We know what he's like in one-on-one situations. We know what he's like for speed and pace, and I get that. But that can be masked if positionally you're very good. You look at players like John Terry, you look at players like, I don't know, even Nemanja Vidic. He could cover some grass, but he wasn't super quick. You look at some of the best centre-halves. You look at Bruce back in the day, and you just look at centre-halves who lack pace is what my point is. What they lack in pace, they make up for with how they read the game, and I think Harry Maguire needs to add that to his game. He needs to add that to his game. I don't want to make it all about him because I think that's unfair. Wan-Bissaka, again, first half I thought defensively was good. He was intense. He was physical, which is what you need against Burnley. Second half, would I say shocking? Not shocking, but just Wan-Bissaka, just back to being average. I think that the things that you're supposed to do crisp and sharp and Like, because other teams do them so well, you don't realise it's another team doing it well. But little 5-yard passes to someone's feet, little half turns, little like getting the ball under control and then playing quickly. Those are the things that we're not doing crisp and sharp where you can go and play. Like little passes to 10-yard passes, Maguire might pass it to someone, but the ball's bobbling up or there's not quite enough pace on it. I want it zipped into my feet, quick. Then we take a touch, play it out, quick, sharp. I'm not seeing that. The two front players in Cavani and Ronaldo, I actually thought Ronaldo had a really poor game today. He scores a goal, which is obviously good. He should have scored the first one, which was, I couldn't believe he missed it. But just in general with his link-up play and his hold-up play, it wasn't the best. That was a bit of an issue today. Cavani, he worked tirelessly, and that's what he's going to do. I still think we need to persist with him, get him up to match sharpness and play in as much games as he can. But he wasn't involved in the game in terms of the ball at his feet, in terms of on the end of chances. He wasn't. Defensively for us today, it was a weird one because it wasn't like David De Gea had a lot to do. He didn't have a lot to do. It wasn't like he was making save after save. It wasn't like Burnley created guilt-edge chances. So in terms of that, I think that's a positive. Another positive that I think Ralph Rangnick will be pleased for is that for many moments in the game, we did compete on a physical level. You had to. Even Maguire was stepping in on Wood, winning it before he could get there. Or if Wood wins the header, making sure you're wrapping round so we can clean up. We dealt with that quite. We didn't give up big chances. You look at against Newcastle, we gave up big chances. Alan St-Maximin obviously scored. You had Jacob Murphy, big chance. You had Almiron, end of the big chance. You had Shelby running in at our goal shot. We were conceding big chances, and I think today that was the difference. We were restricting them to obviously the types of chances that Burnley would want, which is headers from set pieces or corners or whatever, or just generic crosses. But we didn't concede any big chances, which is a positive, and we competed on a physical level. And I think that's why Ralph went with Matic and McTominay today. I didn't think he would go with both. I thought he would go with one or the other, but he did go with both. So look, there are positives. The biggest positive is obviously the 3 points. We had to win. The performance isn't that type of win isn't still how we want to play. It isn't. But at the end of the day, we won the game, and that's what it is. Scott McTominay, man of the match for me. A really good game for him. Eric Bailly, another injury. I mean, when he went down, I'm just like, honestly, it sums up Eric in one game. You love him, you want him to do well, but that's why we can't put a hat on him and bank on him being our #1 centre half in any way. Because if you try and give him 10 games, if you try and give him, I actually thought that was Ralph Rangnick. You can't see him as a guy, he's got glasses and just looks like Ralph Rangnick walking by himself into the car park. Why would I think he would be there? But he does look like Ralph Rangnick. Yeah, you love Bailly, you want him to do well, but he just keeps breaking down. So, look, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, there's argument for Dalot to come back in. I wouldn't say, what's happening? I wouldn't say that Wan-Bissaka covered himself in glory, but Dalot probably maybe back in next game. But Luke Shaw, I think, did enough to keep his place. I liked what Luke Shaw was doing. So we'll see what happens against Wolves, which, again, I feel like I say after each game we play, if we play like that against so-and-so, we'll have troubles. I feel if we play like that for large parts against Wolves, we'll have to improve. Smash the like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know who your man of the match is as well. I am out of it.